Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Just gonna wait for a few more people to trickle in here. Hi, Samriel. Hi, Naravar. You doing? Hey, Shadowhunter. Hey, Lord Eben. Bree, speak up if you're there. I need to mod you. How's everyone doing? How's your day and or night? How's quarantine? Well, it is a day stream series. And we're doing something special in the first half anyway. I'm good, I'm good. I'm just waiting for a few more people to trickle in here before we get started. Two weeks of forced leave. Are you getting paid for that, Shadowhunter? Oh, that's great, Lord. Yeah, there can be some really beautiful world gen with Vintage Story. Hello. Is that you, Bree? Bree, if that's you, can you speak up? I need to mod you. Oh, that helps. Yes, please mod. Okay. Mod. Okay, so with Bree here and with a few viewers here, I think we can get started. So this morning we're going to check out a demo for a choose your own adventure game that my friend Bree has been working on over the last like 6 months or so. About 6 months. And she's in chat. She's lowercase breezy. 3 months. She's lowercase breezy, and you are more than welcome to ask her questions. But yeah, I think the best way is just to get started, and then I want y'all to get involved in this because it is choose your own adventure. So we'll be asking you guys what you think the options should be for how we do the story. I've already been through it once, or at least I've been through a version of it once. So yeah, let's begin. So cool, begin. The suit is womb and mother, shelter and shawl, cape and cowl. You know outside it is cold, but you are warm. Breathe. You inhale, gasping softly at the cold air of the surface. The sound is feminine. That makes you happy. Oh, that's loud. Hang on. There we go. Should we look around, look at Earth, or look at the ship? Fight, fight, fight. So Earth, it seems. Yeah, look at Earth. You tilt your head up at the dark and look at the stars. There was a time when you couldn't do this. You've come a long way, even without the suit. You cannot see Earth, even with its suit zoom function. The display says it's that way, but it's too far away. Like tonguing a cut on the roof of your mouth, you try to imagine how much dark stretches between you and home, poking around your brain for pangs of panic. You remain satisfied with the answer you came to a couple of years ago. You simply aren't biologically equipped to fathom distances like that. You breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Look at the ship or look around. Thank you very much, Shadowhunter, for the biddies. I think I'll take command of this one. We'll look around. You think of Arizona, bathed in lilac. Brown desert scrub brushes your shins, blowing in a wind that is impossibly cold. It looks dead, but this is its natural colour. Save for these growths of grave-looking vegetation in the lavender sands, this place is abrogate of cellular life. You hear the winds as they carry sand, see the particles whip in waves. Welcome to the surface of Duat. Look at Earth, look at the ship, walk towards the structure. Arizona is a choice too, apparently, according to Breezy. So anything blue is a choice, I suppose. Okay, we'll go with structure since Darius is the only one that spoke up. One foot in front of the other, your boots make vivid impressions on the purple sand, and it's an effort to walk towards the structure. Your nano-weave cape flaps furiously, and the rim of its hood shudders around the edges of your vision. Facing toward the structure's entrance, you can see the first of Duat's moons, Thoth, a blue and waning sickle. The suit notices your heart rate is rising. When you reach the structure, you will be fine. 10 minutes pass. Dr. Stevens had a painting above her chair, swirls and sweeps of deep black dragged desperately with both palms covered in paint. Against a background of many mixed muddied colours, written in red, with a finger of a paintbrush you didn't know. In one quadrant, artistically haphazard, full of sound and fury signifying nothing. It was simple, an explosion of despair, an unsubtle cry for help. Dr. Stevens had painted it. My absolute worst fear, you said. Like the worst situation I can think of would be being stranded in a desert, alone. Don't you think lots of people would be afraid to be stranded in a desert? You sighed and laughed. Not the way I am. Right now I can't even go to the beach. I'd curl into a ball. I'd lie down and go catatonic or something. Dr. Stevens doesn't stop smiling. It's very unlikely you'll ever be stranded in the desert. You know that, right? The structure looms. You're reminded of a single thick novel. A Mayerville or your fraying copy of The Stand, standing straight up with its spine facing you. Perhaps it belongs to a titan and you are walking on a beach immense beyond description, and a few clicks to the right you will find the edge of a colourful towel spanning miles. Feeling the not inconsiderable weight of your rifle, you begin to climb chalky lilac stairs. The remains of pillars litter the steps as easily as garbage. The lone and level sand stretch far away. Approach. You cross the debris strewn... You cross the debris-strewn dais. A doorway as tall as 4, perhaps 6 men waits at the base of the structure, rectangular, almost mirroring the edifice in miniature. It has 2 stone doors. One is slightly open, as if left slightly ajar by a giant, only black inside. You speak into your comm. This is Jessica. Condor 1, this is Blackbird. Looks spooky in here, I quit, or go back to the ship. Two for Condor. Alright, Condor 1, this is Blackbird. You tap your visor to switch to dark vision. The lilac world of Duat washes to emerald. I'm about to enter the structure. How copy, over? You hold your voice high in the throat. Remember to push over the pencil. Lima Charlie Blackbird. Captain Gunner states pleasantly, over. I can hear you, Jessica, says Agi. Chide her, move on. If you're wondering why you would chide her, it's because she didn't use code language. Chide means to like, to elbow someone in the ribs kind of thing, like, yeah, give her shit, that's the one. Aggie. We got one for Chide. You still want to go with move on, serious? Chide. 2 for Chide. Say again your last, Seagull, over. Yes, let's have a little fucking decorum, shall we? Dr. Seagull, over. Gunner agrees, playing up his exasperation. Aggie sighs. Seagull reads you loud and clear, over. Civvies, sir, over. At least someone around here got their booties on. You forgot to say over, over. Dr. Priati points out with a snide satisfaction. Gunner doesn't give her the satisfaction of a response. Confirm visual. Feed is healthy, says Aggie. Looks like it just looks dead down there, doesn't it? Not just empty, but dead. You gaze into the black space ahead of you, then, unable to restrain yourself, you flick your eyes to the sky, a momentary swell of vertigo, then you look back down into the doorway. It's not my favourite. Captain Gunner cuts in, husky and warm through clipped. Yes, suffice to say, I will not be taking Sorry. Yes, suffice to say I will not be taking Mary on holiday to shithole S429 anytime in the foreseeable future. Dr. Seagull, do you have any more pertinent observations, or shall we top it off with Duat is shit? Mary? Lilts Aggie. You mean your mistress? Mary is not my mistress, she's my secondary. I am tired of explaining the difference to you, Dr. Seagull. Blackbird, are you prepared to commence? Commencing dive 1. You enter the yawning dark. You leave the wailing winds outside. They drop to a whisper and you're embraced by the kind of silence only known by the abandoned. You hear the crunch of each stone particle under every measured step with your boots, and the quaver in each cold breath you take inside the suit. Even with the dark vision, you see perhaps 30 feet of green stone ground. You heft up your rifle and flick on its light. A beam, infrared, invisible to the naked eye, but bright as the moon to your visor, lands on a statue. dog-like, four-legged. You think of a quiln. It has no tail and no eyes, a curved mouth with a protruding tongue. Now you think of Maori carvings. Taniwha. Look around. You sweep with your rifle's light. The room is wide, and there are countless of these no-eyed Taniwha statues laid in rows. You wonder how long these things have been sitting here in this inert. Down here in this backwater corner of the universe, you see something. What is it? It's on the floor. You train your rifle light on it and take a few steps closer. It's glowing, looks light, plastic. It doesn't belong here. It's a glow stick, like the kind of glow stick you would throw down holes or leave in tunnels to mark your way. Like the kind you brought with you. Just like one of those. The V's are already here. You look up. A flash blinds you, unmistakable light and sound of V's rifle discharging. White hot pain explodes in your left arm, and then suddenly the limb plunges into darkness, leaving only the sensation of molten stump. You stumble backwards, dragging your rifle like a caveman's club, and take cover behind one of the Taniwha. More laser rounds voom past you, gorgeously bright. 2 statues are decapitated. Jessica, status report. Aggie's voice is strained, fit to snap. She is in no state to take control of the situation. Do you go by the book or handle this yourself? Condo 1, I'm hit. I'm taking fire, I say again, I'm taking fire and I'm pinned. Over. Beast blaster bolts sizzle over your shoulder. Aggie's voice is shrill in your ear. Jessica, get out of there. Oh my goodness, is that your arm? Negative, Blackbird. Are you in any shape to engage? How badly are you hit? Over. You hear the beast keening and screaming. You look down at what remains of your left arm. A coat of blood has spattered your chest and cape, as well as a corner of your visor. You must fire back. Send mass to the right arm, or regenerate. Alright, we'll go with mass. The life form does as you ask. Siphoning from the left shoulder muscles, the suit sends additional black-green bio to your right arm, causing it to inflate with bulk. You get on your feet and now are able to wield the plasma rifle in your right hand as easily as you would a service pistol. You swing around to face the reptilian V's. Your impossibly swift recovery puts the fear in them. The dark vision shows their diamond-shaped eyes as green, but you know in truth they are yellow. You fire. The burst makes the rifle rattle and shake in your augmented hand. The muzzle makes a flashing cover of light. You hit one in the neck, the chest. Smoking hot wounds peel open on their scaled flesh. They feel it. They stagger. But to drop the V's for real, you've got to destroy the brain. You take 2 hits, one in the belly and one in the ribs. The armor takes a good chunk of it, but just like them, you feel it. Your vitals flash red, and a gentle siren in your helmet warns you. You feel the life form pulling out black across the wounds to undo the damage. Move forward. You keep the pressure on. You keep the eyes right down the sight and keep firing. You advance. The first V's drops to the ground, face lit up with the bright green-white shreds of your night vision. The other lizard turns tail and flees for ample cover of the Taniwha statues. Your boots come down over the body of a fallen V's. Hot white blood pools about the thick neck on the stone floor. You feel the suit begin the not painless process of growing back your left arm. Tap the brain, hunt for the other one immediately. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, Sirius. So tap the brain, yeah. I was gonna say tap the brain is shoot the beast she's standing over in the head. Let's do tap the brain. You point your plasma rifle downwards like a shovel. You aim straight for the brain. You execute a pair of triple shot bursts with a moment's pause, making a white starburst on the dusty stone. One beast not getting back up. Your regrowing arm tingles and throbs uncomfortably as though waking up from anesthetic. You don't have to hunt long for the remaining Vs. Out of the dark, the reptile comes lunging at you, screaming, knocking your rifle clear out of your grip and toppling you to the ground. Ferocious claws scrape at your armor. The creature's violent keening makes it hard for you to think. It snaps with its jaws. If those fangs get bare skin, you're gone. Shove your arm in its mouth, draw your knife. Well, I think that's what the fun of what Breezy has done, you know? It's that there are consequences. It is a choose your own adventure, and some of those end badly. Oh, we've got a tie. Okay, draw your knife it is then, if we're going with Nerevar. You try to go for the combat knife sheathed on your left hip, but with only one arm you have nothing left to fight off the reptile and it leaves you vulnerable. That was an unwise move. You and the beast wrestle on the stone floor like badly behaved children. The lizard screams in your face, shit-stinking breath steaming your visor. Jessica, Jessica! The palm slams repeatedly up into your chin. Your helmet's seal breaks with a soda can burst and the beast pushes it off you. The face, you think, urging the lifeform, cover our face. You don't think it fast enough. The beast's alligator-like jaws snap into your flesh, into your bone, into your forehead. Your eye socket, your cheeks, they crush. You're not sure if you're screaming. The lifeform is rushing to your aid, trying to force the beast off. Get into the bite wounds, but it's pointless. The venom is in. The pathogen cannot be fought, and it's right in your skull already. It slices through your blood-brain barrier in seconds. The last thing you acknowledge hearing with your conscious mind is a tinny sound of Aggie screaming your name from inside your discarded helmet. So, if I was to guess, Bree, that is the quickest way you can die. I think we managed to kill ourselves in the quickest way we possibly can. Hell yeah. So if we do try again, like Bree says, it'll take us back before the fight, but I think we should restart. Just so we can get a different look at what other options there are. And this time I won't. I will ask for input, but I'll more force a direction. Yeah, we'll force a direction now, Bree. The suit is a womb, a mother, shelter and shawl, cape and cowl. You know the outside is cold, but you are warm. Breathe. See you, Nerevar. Thank you for dropping in. You inhale, gasping softly at the cold air of the surface. The sound is feminine. That makes you happy. So we're going to look at the ship this time. You look straight up at the second moon, Ebis. Your visor activates a powerful telescopic zoom to find the small research vessel in orbit. In the center of the salmon-pink disk hangs a hammer-headed silhouette. The suit helpfully identifies the idol Persepolis. She has borne you across the galactic ocean and delivered you to the shore of Duat. Staring straight up at the sky, especially at a celestial body, still causes anxiety to rush from the base of your skull to the coronal suture? Coronal suture? To buzz in your fingertips and grip your heart. You look away from the ship and straight ahead once again. The suit warns you that your heart rate has spiked. Go back to the ship. Suture. Bree is a fantastic author. She's actually done other stuff, but I'll leave you to ask her about that. Aggie, your voice is more nasal than you would prefer, but it's better than it used to be, and it's yours. A moment passes. Hi, Jessica. I want to come back up. Another pregnant moment goes by between you both. Breathe. You want to... Is something wrong? Are you okay? Asks Aggie. Something... Is something wrong? I forgot something? I'm too anxious. Let's go with anxiety. Fear is alive in you, but not rational fear, organic, manageable. Disordered fear, psychological, quiet, relentless. It clutches your heart, campfire fingers, it bubbles in your grey matter. Maybe you stared at outer space too long, maybe you shouldn't have come here at all. Got ants in the brain, you tell Aggie. I might freak out, I need to come back. Okay, Aggie becomes your carer. You sure you want to abort? Do you want to try and take a tab first? The term tab is superfluous. You won't take a tablet. The suit will directly synthesize benzodiazepine medication into your bloodstream. It has more than enough reserve to knock you unconscious. Dope me up or I need to come back. We're going to go back to the ship, so... No, I need to come back. I think I might have a full-blown attack if I don't. You hear Aggie breathing and very slightly hear her typing. That's okay, she says with genuine concern. We have the time. Just breathe. You okay to make the jump? Uh-huh. Sending a pod to pick you up. Jump. You reach for your right forearm with your left hand. The suit's green-black skin reacts instinctively, peeling aside to offer up your arm console. You input the jump command. The flight backpack opens underneath your nanoweave cape and rockets erupt from your calves. You take the rifle up in both hands. Once again, you look straight up at the Persepolis, at Ibis. Your heart rate spikes. The suit notices. With legs rigid and eyes starward, you rise. A white jet stream trails behind you, left by the shimmering orb of your burning jets. In the night sky of Duat, you are like a comet no one will ever see. Rise. You ascend, taking in more and more of Duat's endless lilac desert. Close your eyes, keep looking. I think Bree's intention is, as development goes along, it's not just going to be text. A lot of this will actually be accompanied with art. Is that right, Bree? That's not a bad idea, Lord Eben. Yeah. Intention is a lot, though. We'll keep looking. The desert grows larger. There is no limit to how far it can go. You keep climbing and it keeps becoming wider, longer, more sprawling. The sky seems to grow larger around it as the horizon begins to curve, and you realize how punishingly, hopelessly small you are. Your heart hangs ragged in your chest, a uselessly tiny pinhead against the might of galaxies. You breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. You go high enough that you begin to see CB843, or Osiris Duat's black hole sun. It's all you can take. All your nerves burn. The world is ending. You look desperately for the pod, unable to find it in the black sky full of stars. You tuck your head into your collar and shut your eyes. The suit gently alerts you that your vitals are spiking, a soft alarm. At the same time, it obeys your command to redouble the speed of its jets. The world is ending. Any moment now you and your consciousness will be annihilated, and with them everything else. The suit pings that the pod is near. You look carefully up and see its eggish frame, perhaps a minute's flight in the distance. You shut your eyes and tell the suit to pilot you there automatically. You climb inside and sit on an uncomfortable bench the rest of the way to the ship. Return to the ship. The pod shakes like a rickety elevator as it twists and locks into its docking slot in the Persepolis' girthy hull. Relief floods you and loosens the muscles in your skull. You're back under a real roof, back within safe walls to a degree, but you won't be truly secure until you make it back to your quarters, make them dark, and retreat to your bunk. Outside, there's a series of klaxons, the groan of the airlock shutting underneath you. Then the seal hisses on the pod door and you're allowed out. Bent over and back smarting, you climb out, hood and cape brushing against the pod's doorframe. You beeline for the suit's dock, fumbling for the fastening of your nanoweave cape. D-suit. The neck seal of your helmet hisses and you pull the emerald mask free. You take a gasp of the recycled ship oxygen, cool but much warmer than it was down on Duat. The black skin of the life form creeps back from your face, recedes from your cranium and down your neck. Your short brown hair is free again. You slip out of each section of the armor as the life form peels back and returns into you. You place them in their slots. You put back the boots and the rifle last. The armor is sealed away behind fiberglass. You look at your right hand, watching and feeling the last visible ribbon of the life form receding into your palm like a tail of a slug. The decon chamber awaits. Decontamination is routine and dull. You sit on another uncomfortable bench for several minutes in a chamber the size of an elevator, bathing in orange light and being sprayed with aerosol chemicals that smell like a hospital. Your skin uncomfortably tingles, growing to the sensation of mild sunburn. You are grateful when it's over. Decon releases you. You take the personal elevator to the main deck. So many little humming spaces. Gunner is waiting, arms folded, when the door opens. A handsome smile creases the boot leather brown face. Jessica, he states. Status report? Well, store? Well, sir. Or shitty. So as you can see by doing this, we've gone to an entirely different half of or an entirely different part of the story that we weren't even going to touch with the first story. Hey Celine Mortar, how you doing? I'm doing great. We are just looking at a friend's demo called The Dive of a game she's working on. Hey Rowan fella. And Lowercase Breezy is the developer of this game, so if you have any questions for her, please speak up. You was there any lines? There's been lines at grocery stores lately. We're going to be informal this time. Informal with Gunner. I'm going to say shitty. Shitty, he repeats back with a concern. That's not on, is it? Sir, is the mission compromised? No, sir. He shifts his weight to his other foot. What can we do to get you back up to speed? Can I talk to Aggie? A shower? A nap? What do you think, Bree? What would be a good display of things from this point on? Oh, you can visit both? Okay, cool. We'll go with a nap first then. Oh, that's terrible, Celine. Thank you very much for being on the front lines, though. I think I need to hit the bunk for an hour, Captain. Gunner smacks his tongue. Already burned some time coming back up. You sure we can spare it? You feel hollowed out in the head, the steel cocoon of the Persepolis, with walls thick enough to keep out cosmic radiation feels thinner than paper. I really need it, sir. Gunner tips his head, considering it. He doesn't push the issue any further. No sign of the Vs at present, he concedes. Channels will light up if anything enters the system. Go get some rest then. Come and check in with me before you leave, yeah? Sir. Thank you, sir. Gunner departs for the bridge, the head down You head down the opposite direction towards your living quarters. Go to your room. I mean, that's still really important, so thank you very much. You climb the ladder to your quarters and seal the square hatch behind you. Your room is sized somewhere between a walk-in closet and a capsule hotel room. You can stand up in it. Your bed is a shelf with more or less rectangular window currently shuttered. A mesh pouch clings to the wall holding your handheld, your e-reader, your Nintendo. There's not much else to speak of. Temperature controls, a small comm console, a fire extinguisher, a diminutive closet for what few casual clothes you brought, t-shirts, leggings, and your several matching jumpsuits. Get your handheld. You dig your handheld out of the crosshatch pouch and take it with you to bed. Get into bed. You climb into the alcove and get on top of the blanket. When you nap, you like to do that. Ostensibly, it stops you from getting too comfortable and oversleeping, but really, you're a weakling when it comes to the siren call of the pillow. You will oversleep. Would you like to look at your handheld? Settle in. Look at the handheld. Yeah, probably, Breezy. I imagine language would change. I mean, there's no real reason we call them phones now either. Let's be real. Your thumb for a handheld awake. There's not much you can do with it here, out in the space boonies. Ship's not connected to the laser net for discretionary purposes. You browse through some photos, some old, like still a boy old, and most more recent. You started taking a lot more selfies after coming out. You wish you took more photos with friends. You wish you had more occasions to take photos with friends. You wish you had more friends. Agoraphobia dropped a nuclear bomb in your life that you spent a decade recovering from. The last couple of years you've mostly been in and out of labs and doctors' offices. You know it's not your fault, but then why did you have such a hard time making friends in the Corps? This is shitty to think about. Would you like something else to listen to? You hum the music app. Rain sounds. You conjure a palm-sized downpour. You have always emphatically preferred the real thing, but you won't get much of that in space. You're not sure you can remember the last time you heard real rain. Noise music. Enveloping static fills the space between ethereal wind chimes and something like the rhythmic knocking of the bamboo fountain. You've probably listened to this album 50 times. It well accentuates the monotonous drone of the ship. Classical. Your classical playlist is easy to drift off to, but additionally, listening to the stuffy old scores while in your ship billions of miles from home gives you a strangely invigorating sense of connection to humanity. From Newton's apple to the FTL engine, here you are, turning the latest page in the story of man. Fucking pretentious, you scoff out loud. Now, what's funny is I imagine that, like, classical in this case means, like, bop from the 2000s. Are we meant to be hearing things here, Breezy? Yeah. Settle in. Off, you tell the main lights. 2 hours. It becomes dark. The alcove. And you told Gunner an hour. Jessica. It becomes dark. The alcove becomes your refuge. You face the wall and duck inward. The only illumination comes from the pale blue emergency lighting lining the ceiling and floor, and the comm console. You retreat into the cool pillow. You wish the mission was over. You wish you were leaving Duat. You wish you were far, far away from here. Sleep is dreamless. Jessica? You groan. The lights are still off. You tuck your knees up. Jessica. Gunner's voice coaxes over the comm. Eggs and bakey, Miss Ramos. A brief pause. Jessica! You sit up, rub your eyes, you yawn like a cat. You reach over the comm. Sir? There's our girl. What say we get moving, hey? Is there really bacon and eggs? There is not. Fucker. You lift up the hatch and climb down the ladder. Shower, go see Gunner, talk to Aggie. We'll go for a shower. proper hygiene after a nap. And these are times where we should be doing proper hygiene. You head down the uniform white wall through octagonal portholes to the washroom. You shed your grey skin-tight jumpsuit and hang it up on the door. The shower jets are operated by button. You activate the jets, of blazing hot water attacks you from both sides. You wince. The life form comes out to defend you. Puddles of black skin form rapidly across your pale brown body, shielding you from too hot shower. Protecting you from burning yourself. It's okay, you say, though you don't need to. You push the controls to turn down the temperature. It's okay. You find a comfortable warmth. The life form relaxes, but tongue-like black-green slivers remain protruding from your skin all around your body, writhing like leeches licking up the water. The life form is hydrated and nourished by your regular digestion process, but has always enjoyed bathing with you. You check on your orchiectomy scar. The healing is going well. That's expected. You made sure it knew this was important. You're blasted with hot air to dry you. You dress, refreshed. Visit Aggie, go see Gunner, but there's also this. You find a comfortable warmth. The shower in your room at the clinic responded well to the temperature controls, not like the shower at home. Got hot fast, could be tuned precisely for comfort at home. It sometimes took several minutes to warm up, and there was perhaps a quarter inch between getting too hot and freezing. The pressure was strong too, and you'd soak your face in it, drink it. Feel truly cleansed, healthy. You found the clinic shower strange, in spite of its efficacy. There was no tub or dividing glass separating it from the toilet and sink, just a thin polyurethane curtain hanging from a rail. The water went everywhere, all across the tile. It put you in the mind of a cell block or a barracks. That thought didn't depress you as it once might have. It comforted you and feel part of a system, part of a plan. When you couldn't see an end to your suffering, it kept you afloat, to believe the clinic's plan would eventually begin to alleviate it. Your stay at the clinic was the first time you could remember actually showering every day, sometimes twice a day. You tended to do it around lunch. You liked to put your handheld on the sink, and almost every day listen to the same song, Me and Mrs. Jones, covered by Daniela Mirage, an old soul song from over 100 years ago. And we'll go visit Aggie now. You creep down the hall towards the kitchen. The lighting feels granular, fuzzy, like static. You duck your head under the door and enter. The kitchen is not large, and you are. A dwarf fridge with stacks of dehydrated fare, a small sink, a machine that dehydrates the food in the fridge and turns it into something more appetizing. A bulk orange Huel coffee maker, the centerpiece of the entire deck as far as Aggie is concerned. The sun at the centre of the Persepolis, oh my lord, Persepolis' solar system, and Aggie scrunched over at the pull-out plastic table with a cup of coffee. No, 2 cups. She bounces in surprise at seeing you lumber in, curly black hair ruffling. Jessie, are you all right? Come in, sit down. Let me take your blood pressure. You make your way to the table, head brushing the ceiling. You squeeze into the plastic seat. I made you some coffee. I know you didn't ask for any, but just in case, you know, I'm sorry. I should have asked. Drink it or don't. I'm just particularly self-conscious because I'm dyslexic, so I always second guess myself when I'm reading things, which is part of why I stumble in the first place. The coffee is dark. It will be bitter. You take a slow sniff, a lungful before you sip. You adore the smell of fresh coffee. The coffee is earthy, but you taste the sweetener. Thanks, you offer quietly. You smile. Aggie smiles back. Let me get a quick read of your vitals. Aggie becomes Dr. Priati. Slides some things over from the far end of the table, a thin, see-through tablet computer, a little silver wristband with a black screen, a clasp that your finger goes into. For the specifics of what goes wrong when I'm reading things, do you know what a spoonerism is? My brain flips things a lot. So it'll be where vowels are together, I'll flip vowels, or the start and end of a word I'll flip. So it would be like Euratip or something in my brain, but I'll have to change it to Priati. It's particularly bad on foreign words. So life gives me melons, correct. I almost said lemons. I'm fine, really. You come back from the surface of an alien world, I check your vitals. Aggie sticks the black plastic doodad into your index finger. Especially if something made you come back prematurely, how are you faring mentally? She slides the wristband on over your fingers. Her brown skin brushes yours. When your hands touch, a black-green silver appears like the cresting dolphin on the ocean's surface, curious about a passing ship. It lashes her gently, enough to make her snatch her hand away in surprise, and then disappears into you again. All this happens in the space of a moment. Oh! Aggie yelps. Is it? You chuck a little huskily. It's fine. She takes your hand again with admirable professionalism and tightens the wristband. Feeling lively, is it? It's curious about anyone who comes close. It's protective. But it knows there's nothing to worry about from Dr. Priati. You don't say any of these things. You just laugh again. Aggie waits. In a minute, a red LED on the finger device lights up and you hear a beep. Numbers appear on the wristband, which Aggie checks against her tablet. Blood pressure normal? Good. How are you feeling? Aggie takes the wristband and the finger trap back. She looks at you with genuine concern. Nothing unusual. I'm not the best. I freaked out on the way up. Hey, New. How are you doing? I freaked out on the way up. I could tell something was wrong. Aggie sips her coffee. Do you want to talk about it? I've been jumpy since leaving the ship. I'd rather not. We'll probably get more dialogue this way. I was nervous getting in the suit, into the pod. I closed my eyes the whole way down. Aggie rests her chin on the folded hands. I had to come back. I didn't feel ready. I just wanted to sprint back to my bunk, hide in the dark until we got back to Earth. Then on the way up, I opened my eyes and I looked at the black hole. You knew that would be triggering for you, didn't you? You give a guilty nod. Dr. Priati starts cleaning her glasses. You've done this before. Why did you think you would do that? Why do you think you do that? Deliberately overload yourself? Drive yourself to panic? To challenge myself. That's the only way to get over this thing, right? Expose myself to what scares me? I shouldn't have to deal with this shit. It's just my fucking head. Saying the panic is just in your head is rather like saying the cancer is just in your liver, says Aggie. It is an affliction of your brain, Jessica. I know that. Do you? She rests her coffee on the table. Yes, but I hate being weak. Normal people aren't scared of this kind of shit. Normal people aren't scared of outer space, Aggie balks. My dear, I promise you, your perspective on that is very skewed. But normal people handle it. They deal with life. Instead of spending 10 years afraid to leave their fucking house, drop any other Marine on duet. Let me stop you there, Aggie cuts you off. There are a host of reasons you are suited to this mission that are not fulfilled by a Marine. We want you to act with a certain autonomy, but importantly, we expect you to display flexibility and compassion that don't come in the usual Marine profile. You think that you are weak. Your history, in fact, shows a great deal of tenacity. You have reforged yourself, Jessica. It's your job to say that. Thank you. Okay. Let's get hostile. Aggie frowns. She's hurt, or very good at acting so. That's not how this works, Jessie. You think it's just my job to motivate you to get the desired result, she explains carefully. You think I'm just trying to keep you running like a mechanic so you can finish the mission. But I have feelings, Jessie. I wouldn't sign on to an assignment where I was ordered to exploit you, like a company asset. My primary task is to ensure you remain mentally sound and report if you slip. If you reach a state where continuing the mission is no longer in your best interest. She takes a long sip of coffee while you digest her words. You take a gulp as well. You like her coffee. She knows how you like your coffee. What else does she know about you? You think I'm just supposed to kick you until you can't run anymore, like a horse? But I care about how you're doing, Jessie. I'm sorry. I still haven't watched The Expanse. I really need to, because apparently it's very, very good. Dr. Priati offers a cream sweet smile. Please don't mention it. I know it's difficult to see me as a companion and not a zookeeper. And as your doctor, I should maintain a certain distance, but I hope you believe me when I tell you that you are more important to me than the mission. I should go. You slurp down the last of your coffee. The final couple of mouthfuls are extra thick and sweet. You rise from the plastic table and give a clipped farewell to Dr. Priati, who waves with her fingers. Behind you, she prepares to pour herself a fresh mug. She is an engine that runs on the black stuff, heavily sweetened. You duck down to get through the doorway into the hall. Continue. Out into the main hall, you remember the captain's request to come see him. It didn't sound urgent, though. Let's go see Gunnar. I don't want to cover everything because I want there to be options for you guys to look at. And Bree, if you want to put the link to this demo in the chat, that would be awesome. A sizable circular door split diagonally across its diameter opens to allow you onto the Persepolis's main fuselage. You pass the doors to Gunnar's modest quarters, the sick bay, Dr. Priati's small lab, the main feature of which is a thick glass specimen holding tube built against the far wall, currently empty. The hatch to an emergency pod sits vigilant on your right, bordered by yellow and black striped lines. Gunnar will not be in his quarters now, he will be on the bridge. You pass through another circular portal into a hammerhead flight deck. Rectangular windows with rounded edges span its length, looking out into the blackness and its white diamond specks. An uncomfortable place for a conversation. For you. You can't. Oh my god, my brain. You can't your head down and try your best to shut it out. Gunnar is at his station in the pilot's seat. You deeply engrossed in something on the touchscreen computer console. He leans back into the cushioned seat and puts a fist into his mouth, sighing through the nose, frustrated. Sir? Yeah, Gunnar mumbles. You right there, Amos? He closes what he was doing on the computer and swivels his seat to face you. You wanted to see me, sir? Yeah. He's still rubbing his bearded chin. He looks away for a moment. What do you reckon of all this, Jessica? How are you feeling about this assignment? No opinion. Just doing what I'm told, sir. Get in, get out, as far as I'm concerned. Gunnar purses his thick lips and nods. That's what they like in the Marine. At least you're the right tool for the job, hey? He smirks. Listen, I'd like to discuss something with you. It's sensitive. I'm nervous even showing my hand by asking, to be honest. Can you keep something between us? Not bring it up with Dr. Priati? I wouldn't be comfortable with that. I don't think we should be keeping secrets from each other, Captain. Gunnar steeples his fingers and nods, pressing his tongue against the inside of his lips. Right, then, forget I said anything, really. He pivots his chair back around and wakes up the computer again. You ought to get back down. Let's get things rolling properly, shall we? Sir. You pass through the circular portal and leave Captain Gunnar to his puzzling. The diagonal door hisses and clamps shut behind you. Aggie is here in the hallway, ducking into her lab. She sees you and lifts her hand, a small wave before touching the console to open the door. Say nothing. You wave back. Aggie offers a small smile. She disappears into her lab and the door seals behind her. Your heart thrums. You squeeze your hands into a fist and then out again, stretching your fingers. You head toward the elevator to go back to the pod, back to the surface. You take the elevator down to the pod bay. The fiberglass containing the green armor hisses as it retracts. You put on each piece, the life form snaking out of your skin and filling in the gaps like polymer. You're refreshed. You suit up with confidence. You pick up the rifle with gauntleted hands as though hoisting a lance ready to pierce the heart of a dragon. Suit donned, shoulders enrobed, stock of your rifle tucked into your elbow, you enter the pod. Drop. The pod rumbles and shakes as it hits the atmosphere. You take deep breaths, close your eyes, and try to remain centered on this uncomfortable bench in its cramped pod, careening toward the desolate planet in a nowhere corner of space. Ready to jump, Jessica? Aggie asks in your ear. As I'll ever be. The pod door opens, howling wind blows and it roars on blackness and stars, the orange-white rim of Osiris. You don't hesitate. You rush and swan dive. Fall. You are flying. You engage your back and leg jets. Your cape flows behind you. You are a superhero. There was a time when you couldn't even leave your bedroom. When you come close to the surface, you swing your legs down and brake. You make a comfortable landing, blasting a little crater in the purple sand. You breathe the cold air. The structure is just ahead. You've touched down almost close enough to touch it. Landed, you tell the comm. Moving on. Head towards the structure. Alright, so we're going to skip ahead a little bit here. So we're going to say Conda, this is Blackbird, and chide her. This is the options we made last time. Alright. Here we go. We're going to do the fight over again. Oh, that's cool. Condor 1, I'm hit. I'm taking fire. We're gonna regenerate this time. You shut your eyes against the pain. You tell the life form in the strange non-language of thought. New arm. It agrees? It agrees. You feel it like the limb is waking up from anesthesia. Inch by inch, black and green matter molds out from the wound like a sword-like protrusion. It grows and grows. Soon you are at least able to clumsily hoist up the front of your rifle with an eldritch stump. Just in time for two V's to round the statue and face you, preparing to blast you into a pulpy smear. You roll up on one knee, stick the rifle right under the chin of one V's and fire. There's a volcano belch of gore from their reptilian skull. A not insignificant amount lands on your visor. They fall. The other has hopped back in surprise. You must deal with them too. Rush them or shoot them. Yes. Both, please. Hi, Nanian. How you doing? We'll go with shoot. Your arm is still reforming and you can't hold your aim steady. You pepper the single remaining V's, but they slip away under the cover of the statues. Sensation wriggles in what feels like the beginning of a new thumb. Blackbird, status report. Over. Answer or hunt for the vase? Hunt? Anyone else agree? Hunt. Hunt it is. You ignore the comm, no time, rifle up, you hunt, you double time it, but don't rush, you don't want to get caught out. You swing your rifle left, right, check everywhere with the infrared flashlight. You point your light down long, dark paths between the innumerable Tunifar statues. Minute dust dances in the beam every which way you look. A minute passes, then another. You hear a keening, a screech somewhere quite distant. You wonder if it's just an echo scratching feet like rats in the walls of a house. The second V's has run away from you and your gun. Son of a bitch. Your blood is still up and now you're paranoid. That one will warn the others you're coming. He might set a trap for you too. The captain clears his throat softly. Status report, Blackbird. One hostile unaccounted for, sir, or I'm rusty. Took out the other, over. Right. Well, that's just put a fly in our jam, hasn't it? He'll be off to tell his mates. There's no telling how big of an operation they've set up already. Proceed with utmost caution, Blackbird. Over. Roger that. Continue. Jessica, how is your arm? Asked Dr. Priati. Let me see it. You look at the incomplete ruin of your left hand. Fingers are forming. The skin is beginning to come back, like moss on a log. It's fresh, pink, pale, doesn't match the rest of you at all. The visual feeds back to the ship. Stabilizing, you say flatly. You flex what there is of the little still shaping fingers. If possible, I'd like for you to return to the ship, says Aggie. You're badly hurt. You need protein. Negative, Dr. Seagull. Time has just become a pressing factor in this operation, Blackbird. How are we handling your arm situation, over? Your arm throbs. You feel like the life form reaching out. Experience its... You call it hunger, but it doesn't feel like hunger the way you know it. To you, it's like an intrusive thought, like run your finger across this light switch or steer your car into oncoming traffic. It's telling you there's a Vs corpse over there and we need nutrients. Absorb the Vs, or I'm not doing that. We're not going to absorb the Vs. Looks like. If someone ties this up. I'm not doing that. The lifeform communicates with you. It is unusual, wordless way. The Vs pathogens aren't communicable in this fashion. The bite, the venom sacs, are the only known method of infection. It will disintegrate the heavily keratinized reptilian epidermis. The muscles, maybe some bone, calcium, collagen, and break it down, turn it around and make it usable for you, remake your arm. How that actually progresses in your head is more like Vs, sacs, no, touch, lizard, eat, make, for you. Yet you gather the nuance, the implication of the particular roughness of the reptilian skin, the cleansing process of the lifeform's digestion. You needn't be concerned about catching Vs. That sounds disgusting, I won't do it. Save the corpse in case we need it later. We're gonna save the corpse. You flex your nearly formed, unarmored fingers. They tingle. Your arm is just about done. You figure you can do without vamping off another body for the time being. You'll be looking lean, you suspect. Your ribs are starting to show underneath your chest plate, and if you take another laser in the side, you're absolutely going to need to feed. But for now, you're still standing. You can leave this one here in case you need it later. As you think all of this, the lifeform considers it disagrees. It would rather see you fat and healthy now. It doesn't have much of a mind for tactics. You've been frequently told by researchers working on you that it doesn't have a mind at all. It'll heal, Captain. Proceeding with mission, over. Acknowledged. One problem, however. A new arm looks like a good place to get bitten, says Gunner. Can we do something about that? You were thinking the same thing. The alien agrees. It promptly emerges, swirling around your regenerated limb until the pale skin is hidden and your whole arm is black. It feels like a too tight rubber glove all the way up your bicep. So fascinating, breathes Dr. Priati. Could she just cover herself with it? Stop anything getting in? Seems prudent. If she covers too much of her body, she'll overheat, says Aggie. The suit is designed to balance armor coverage with the life form as efficiently as possible. It's all in this supplementary material, Captain. You really should have a look. The suit manual seemed like a doorstop. Need a PhD in bloody biochemistry to get past the first page. I'd have been happy to go through it with you. Just spoil the ending for me. Save time, Seagull. Who sits in the Iron Throne? Really, Captain. Continue. It's time to continue the dive. You search the Quillen statue chamber with your infrared flashlight. Plasma rifle hoisted forward and ready. You hold up the front end with your left hand, wrapped protectively in skin-tight black like long glove of the ballroom dancer. The trigger and the stock are in your right. That arm encased in layers of alloys and composite plastics. You find at least one exit to this huge chamber. In one of its far corners, a squared archway leading into the darkness. Keeping radio chatter to a minimum going forward, Condor. Need to stay alert. And quiet, agrees the captain. Roger that. Blackbird out. Go this way. Keep looking. We're all going to keep looking. You keep searching. There's got to be more to this chamber. You find another exit, much the same as the first. This one is caved in beyond use. Entropy is laying calm to the abandoned structure. It is sagging under the weight of time, such that the cracks are beginning to show. It would be wise to claim your objective and leave swiftly. You head to the other side of the stairs and descend. Go down. You walk down a short hallway, and it isn't long before you come to a wide flight of stairs leading downwards into more dark. Carvings on the wall near your ankles depict something resembling waves or quarter moons. Much of the masonry is cracked and crumbling. Go back or go down the stairs. I like how you're separating the choices, Grid Monkey. Thank you. We're going down. Descending further into another crypt-like hallway doesn't give you more clues as to the original purpose of this place. Is it a crypt? Some kind of tomb? A temple? You infer some religious purpose, comparing it to similar structures on Earth. You can't help but think of the pyramids in both Egypt and Mesoamerica, all entreaties to the gods, places to connect with the beyond, to contact the dead. You put away your train of thought, following the wall, a repeating pattern of relief carvings depicting blank, life-size human figures. Their heads are upside-down triangles. Halfway down the hall, a huge crack appears, a silent, shattering light bolt through one of the humanoid reliefs. Pointing your light down the hall, you can see another set of stairs, wider but no less dark, 1 or 2. Inspect the crack or use the stairs. You can lead this character anywhere you like. We're going to inspect. You point your light into the crack. It goes straight through to another room on the other side. Even with your armor plates on, you think you might be able to squeeze through. Go back or slip through the crack. Oh, we pushing. Slip through the crack. You try and fit yourself through, black arm first. You drag your rifle in your right hand. You hear your cape scraping against stone at your back, the gun clattering as it follows you through. You suck in your stomach. For a minute, you're wedged in there pretty tight, stuck in the dark, your visor unable to gather any errant light. You shift and shuffle and make it. Continue. Now you're in another long, narrow chamber. You step over the remains of a stone body, the debris of the torso and arms. It takes you a moment to identify the sundered head. You tell it by the eye and mouth carved into one side on the bulbous skull. The right half of its head is missing. When you look up, you sweep your flashlight and see dozens of more statues like the broken one at your feet, complete and standing silent on plinths set in arched alcoves. Point your flashlight down the passageway and you see even more. Behind you too. Some are missing hands, their heads, an arm, cracked and worn by the passage of time. Their thick triangular heads remind you of, but are not exactly like, hammerhead sharks. An immense fist of noise rattles your skull and makes your heart skip. The world in your visor bleaches white. Then you feel that you're being beaten, pummeled and forced to the ground by an implacable mob. The suit protects your bones from breaking, your skull from caving in. A trap. You hear the wind get punched out of you, hear yourself wheeze when you hit the floor. You drop your rifle, you are dazed, you feel like God has their foot stuck in your back. A cave-in, those beasts set you a trap. Blackbird, Blackbird, are you still with us? Over. Jessica, are you alright? You take a difficult laboured breath. Affirmative, Condor, just a hiccup. The lifeform sends help to your arms and legs, bolstering the muscles and bones trying to free you from the pile-up. The stones shift by centimetres. You scrape and wiggle. It takes a minute, but you manage to claw yourself out from under the fallen stone. You shake yourself off. Try to get your bearings. You pick up your gun again. You have alerted them. If there's more, says Gunner, they might be coming for you. Watch yourself. Copy that, sir. You find a narrow doorway at the end of this chamber. Something out there seems faintly brighter than in here. Balcony Vis Advantage. Is that is Balcony Vis Advantage a dev name? Just After getting out of the rubble from the stone trap. Okay, I'll try pressing numbers. You step out onto the long, curved balcony of pillars and arches overlooking a great dark chamber, the size of a large church or theatre. You see a flash of a muzzle, just in time to jerk away, the laser shredding the air so close to your face and shoulder that the lifeform rushes to your skin in response. A sized chunk of stone explodes from the wall behind you. You reach cover behind one of the pillars. You carefully peer out of the battlefield for a quick assessment of your options. Among the crates, the cables stand a cylindrical generator. If you aim carefully, shoot the generator or play it safe. Pew pew the power boy. Alright, seems like we are gonna pew pew the power boy. Okay. Number key did not work on the keypad or the number row. So, shoot the generator. You poke your head out and take aim for the generator. The lifeform wrapped around your left arm like a silk glove holds your aim steady. You fire, the machine blows, and 2 V soldiers go flying like ragdolls from blue-white fist of an explosion. You wince from the noise. A dense cloud of charcoal-coloured smoke begins to spread across the camp. The V's continue to blast away, chipping chunks off the pillar, and position won't remain tenable, but moving isn't safe either. Move or stay behind cover. Two for move, 2 for stay. We need a tiebreaker. Wish I had a coin. Hang on. I might have a coin. Oh, Nanian, in with the tiebreaker. Excellent. All right, we are moving then. Moving isn't safe, but staying behind the shrinking pillar is worse. You break into a sprint across the balcony, heading for the next stone pillar. Shots fly past you and hit the wall. They'll lead the next one. A bolt slices the air above your head just as you duck and slide into safety above the pillar. Shoot back. You're wrestling control of the encounter from the V's. You have time to lean out, carefully line up a shot and pick off a lizard soldier with your single burst. It's time to get down there and finish this. Jump down from the balcony. You leap over the edge of the balcony, falling 2 stories with your cape flapping behind you. The armor's pads and joints effortlessly absorb the impact of the landing. You hit the floor of the chamber running and raise your rifle ready to meet the enemy. Continue. The smoke cloud has sent your vision of the battlefield, frankly, to shit. You can't find the remaining V's. You slow your approach, advancing carefully toward the loose collection of crates and cables. As you step gingerly toward the edge of the cloud, you hear a guttural shriek. You hear it milliseconds before V's warrior with a horned crest comes sprinting out of the smoke on superhumanly agile feet. Their clawed hands are outstretched, their teeth bared, they lunge. It was enough time for you to react. You swerve out of the way and duck, firing in a clean arc. You draw a line from their neck to their pelvis. They fly to the ground as if thrown. You move fast. You descend on them and shoot the head. You do it twice just to be sure. This one's skull is bulkier than usual. Then you pivot back towards the smoke. Search the smoke. You move with purpose into the charcoal-coloured fog. You can see the tip of your gun, but not much else. Fingers and wisps of smoke whip and swirl around you, around the beam of your infrared light. Hearing the scratch of claws behind you, you whip around and shoot blind. Chalk up another one. The reptile runs, screaming a war cry, straight into your line of fire and drops. You stare down at the motionless bulk, making sure you got it in the head. One shot seems to have gone into its mouth, out the side of its skull and through its wide papery neck frill. You're pretty sure the brain is beyond repair. You swallow and bite your tongue. You blast it one more time just to be sure. Status, Blackbird, Gunner says calmly in your ear. Everything under control now? The foam between your forehead and the helmet is slick with sweat. Your breaths are coming heavy. You search the camp for the last remaining Vs. Situation stable, Condor. Just one more thing. You find the remaining Vs warrior face down at the foot of the canvas tent. You feel a brief spike of anxiety, noticing that they are gently moving, gurgling, staring out from glazed eyes. A guttural squawk comes out from between scaled lips. Put it down, you think, and then you do. Blood splattering on your armoured boots. All hostiles neutralised, Captain. Investigate camp. So this is actually 2 options. Because put it down is an option. Anything in blue is an option. But the ones that are in text... Would I be right, Breezy, in saying that any that are in text are kind of like supplementary? Okay. So yeah, we'll look at put it down. It was your first time holding a gun. Its weight pulled and carrying strap into your shoulder. It was old-fashioned, real solid ammunition, not lasers. It was cool. Solid black and sophisticated, sight mounted on top. Your cousin and uncle each carried one just like it. All 3 wore silencers on their barrels. Woo-woo! Your cousin cupped their hand around their mouth and made an impressive bird call. Uncle Ryan, that was my best bird call of all time. Woo-woo. Here we go. Uncle Ryan smacked her on the shoulder. Shut the fuck up, Shan. She snickered loudly, smacking chewing gum. You were supposed to stay absolutely quiet. It wasn't actually hunting season. That's why you were walking out there in the back, way through the forest and not driving. Your cousin, taller than you, was pretty as a Valkyrie, elbowed you in the ribs. Geez, you're skinny little shit. She ruffled the wool beanie covering your ratty long hair. You took the bullying without complaint. Can you continue or stop thinking about this? Woo-woo. Maybe a different color? Yeah, I agree with Sirius. Red's probably a bit like danger. We'll keep reading. Beautiful, said Uncle Ryan, isn't he? Gaylord. Ryan looked over from his rifle sight and scowled at Shannon. You little cuss. She grinned and laughed through her nose. She eyed down her sight at the buck. You copied her. Gazing at the deer through the crosshairs, red dot in the centre, you leaned away and tried to look at it from far away instead. Your breath fogged in front of your face. Shannon's rifle made a gassy pop. The deer convulsed, kicking up its hind legs and bucking like a frightened rodeo horse. It took off into the trees. Ryan hit her on the shoulder. You fucking missed. No, I didn't. I got it. You just grazed him. No, I got him. I got him in the neck. Come on. Shannon shook your shoulder. Come on, dumbass. Continue. Shannon had hit him true. The buck left a blood trail. You followed it for 20, perhaps 30 minutes. You were beginning to get tired of walking, but you didn't say so. There, Shannon yelped. You found the buck collapsed against a snowbank. The bullet in its ribs had finally snapped the last of its strength, and it failed to climb its final small hill. Its side rose and fell rapidly, blood trickling out of the hole in its side and into the snow. It made you anxious, made your heart race in sympathy, watching the deer cling desperately to life. Put it down, Shan, said Uncle Ryan. Shannon bit her lip. Make dumbass do it, she said through a dry throat, kicking your ankle. He hasn't fired all day, and that was the whole point, right? For him to shoot something? Her eyes widened. Uncle Ryan looked at you. You want to? I mean, sure? Stop thinking about this. Sure it is. Then before you knew it, you were staring down the barrel of the buck's skull, its oblivious wet eye blinking at the unfeeling sun. You were swallowing lumps and licking your dry lips. Your aim kept wavering like a ship on a choppy water. You need help? Asked Uncle Ryan. Come on, dipshit. Half my friends at school iced their first deer before they got their period. Sean, shut the fuck up. I'm just saying. Easy does it. Right through the skull. You close your eyes as you slid your finger over the trigger. Then you open them again. No. You would at least look while you did it. You owed the creature that much. You squeezed the gun leapt in your hands, and the stock punching you in the shoulder. Top of the deer's head became a ragged strawberry jam-looking mess. You breathed out shakily. Good job. Good job. I thought he wasn't gonna do it. Shut the fuck up, Sean. You kind of hoped it would be the last time you held a gun. Investigate the camp. With your ears perked for any sudden clicking of claws on stone or throaty reptilian growling, you anxiously begin your search of the V's camp. You search by the invisible beam of infrared flashlight. You move to inspect a crate that has been riddled with pulse fire. A lantern has fallen to the ground, lying on its side, unharmed. You pop the hatch and lift the lid. Rations, you report to your comm, peering down into the tightly packed containers. A number of them have been damaged and sprayed a syrupy goo or sauce all over. Choose another crate. You pick another crate, a long one. Guns. You pass your left hand curiously over the V's rifle, feeling the ridges of the large muzzle. Recon, they're settling in? Gunner asks. Seems like they want to set up a forward base. Over. Couldn't say, sir. Not for long. Is she a badass? Or is she being sensible? When I hear the name Shan, there's a little bit of revulsion in me because I had a flatmate, a terrible, terrible flatmate in my past called Shan. Not for long. Or burn the fuckers out before they can set up their little nest. Strong attitude, Blackbird. I'll stick a gold star in your report for enthusiasm. Over. Thank you, sir. We haven't ascertained the size of their operation yet. It might be just this little rickety camp, or there might be a hive of them. You're one Marine, Jessica. Over. Understood. I'm a vampire slayer, sir. Understood. Stowing the bravado, Captain. Over. Not all the way, I hope. You'll need some of that tardiness if you want to survive this. Over. You smirk. Roger that, sir. Blackbird, do me a favour and look into the tent, would you? Over. Inspect the tent. The tent is long, semicircular, and black. You approach from one end, the flap is unzipped. Breathing quietly, you gently push your way in, the business end of your plasma rifle preceding you. The tent seems to be empty of any V's. The V's don't seem to sleep on cots or in bags or anything resembling comfort you used to as a human being. There are simply 7 flat, thin mats, not unlike you'd see at the gym, laid neatly on the stone. You wonder if they even take their armor off to sleep in these tight confines. On their homeworld, they sleep on grass and sand, says Aggie, noticing you staring at the accommodations. The mats must provide just the right amount of softness. The sleeping arrangements seem entirely uncomfortable to you, but right away you recognize the purpose of the objects casually strewn around the mats like toys. You can't tell what some of them are, but right away you think belongings: a knapsack, a container of half-eaten rations, a toothbrush of all things, a tablet computer. This tent housed army grunts, and these are their things. A toothbrush, says Aggie, suddenly alight with emotion and agitation. Was that a toothbrush? Yes, ma'am. Who cares? I don't think the Japanese sleep on sand or on grass. Tatami mats, sure. Some anyway. Yes, ma'am. It sure is a toothbrush. What are you thinking? This could be an unprecedented glimpse into the inner lives of the V's. We have our mission, Dr. Seagull. We need to remain focused. Jessica, let me see the toothbrush. Gunner Borks, are you having a laugh, Agatha? Pick it up, let me see it. Pick up the toothbrush. You pick up the toothbrush and hold it close so Aggie can see it. It's made of neon green plastic twisted with purple and has a tongue cleaner pad on the back of the head. You twist it and turn it carefully so she can see each bristle. Satisfied? Asked Gunner. How do you suppose they got this, Captain? Why do you think they have it? Scavenged it from a dead human, I imagine, like the pretty colours. They're not. Dr. Priati takes a breath to calm himself. They aren't mindless horde, Captain, and I wish you would acknowledge that. They are organised and intelligent. Look at Jessica's surroundings, for goodness sake. The V's had a toothbrush because it wanted a toothbrush to clean its teeth. We are dealing with an intelligent race. We can see reason with them? No, we aren't. Not wrong, my god. Maybe that's all they are, they're just lizard people. Serious going for the optimistic 1. Bird Monkey with a 1 too. Is that a tentative 2 there, Nanian? Oh, it's a 1. Alright, we can see reason with them. If they're enough like us to brush their teeth, maybe they're more like us than we thought. Maybe we can learn to talk with them. I see what Aggie means. They operate spaceships and laser rifles, says Gunner impatiently. I don't see what's special about a toothbrush. Up to this point, we've presumed the V's to do nothing but infect and kill and spread, explains Aggie. This toothbrush makes the difference, Captain. Please excuse me, the difference between a Borg and a Klingon. Gunner smacks his tongue. Could you translate that into Doctor Who for me? No, I can't, Aggie admits sadly. When Gunner exhales, it sounds as though a sarcophagus lid is pressing all the remaining air out of them. Jessica, it's your prerogative, he adds over numbly. Right, I was going to say Grid Monkey, Cyberman and Dalek. Dalek are intelligent and can be reasoned with, but they don't necessarily agree with your reason. See you, Nani, and thank you so much for dropping in. So what's the choice? We're agreeing with Aggie to consider this toothbrush very seriously? Or is the toothbrush a waste of time? We are considering the toothbrush. I'll bring you the toothbrush, Aggie. I think you might be right. Aggie breathes out in relief. Thank you, Jessie. Really. Make it quick, Jessica. You take a couple of minutes looking for something suitable to wrap the toothbrush in. You can't find anything. You put it in your belt next to the spare thermal clips. Aggie protests, but it's your best you can do. So, are we going to now try and load our rifle with a toothbrush? You search the rest of the tent. You pick up a tablet computer you noticed earlier, a chunky grey thing. A minute's fumbling with it and you figure out how to bring something onto the liquid crystal screen. The display is primitive, monochrome. The letters on the random page of text are made up of the Roman alphabet and Mandarin Chinese. Though you're able to read the characters, they spell nonsense, monosyllabic V's language constructed in the mutated remains of Wernicke's area. Like building a shelter out of the shattered bricks of a destroyed castle they destroyed themselves. There's a container in the corner of the tent that you notice on your way to leave. It's like a smaller version of the crates outside, one you could carry under the arm. Its latch is undone and its lid peeking slightly open. It's like you smell something delicious. You're drawn to it. No, the lifeform is telling you to go look in the box. We need to look in there. It's important. Look in the crate. Eradicate plaque. Eradicate. You kneel down and flip up the lid. Inside there's a vacuum sealed bag. You lift the corner. Hey, actually, you know what? In these times it's very important to think about our hygiene, and clearly Jessica's enemies are also thinking about hygiene in these important times. So, you know, we need to acknowledge that hygiene is important to everyone in this galaxy. Not just you, but everyone. That's the lesson we should take away from this. You kneel down, flip up the lid. Inside there's a vacuum-sealed bag. You lift the corner and feel its consistency with your thumb. The contents are gelatinous, mushy, and black. The life form is buzzing around your mind. You both know what it is. Jessica, says Aggie, is that? Yes. You snap the lid shut and pick up the small crate. You move mass to your right arm so that you can aim your rifle with one hand. What is it, Blackbird? I'm coming back to the ship, Captain. We'll talk about it there. Leave the tent. You are holding a baby. What? You are holding a baby now. Okay. No, I'm not. In which hand? Thank you, Sirius. In which hand? We need a tiebreaker. Anyone with a tiebreaker? Alright, in which hand? The left. Okay, good. Drop it. Okay, good. The baby in the crook of your left arm wakes up gently from a nap. She makes a cranky groan, battling her round fist in the air. She's hungry. What will you do? I have no idea. Offer my breast. Drop it. Oh, alright. We've got 2 3s. Give you 5 seconds. You're dropping it. What in the world? You don't want this thing. You lazily twist your forearm and let the infant fall to the ground. You watch its limbs bounce, its soft skull hitting the stone with a thick. How do you feel about that? Continue. Then it's the crate again. It was always the crate, of course. Thankfully, dropping it on the ground didn't pop it open. You stare down, frowning at the crate. Oh well. Blackbird, do you copy? You shake your head very slightly. I copy, Condor, over. Have you a comm malfunction, Blackbird? No, I'm fine. I'm not sure what that was. Oh, that was a really old choice, Grid Monkey. I'm not sure what that was. That was something you blurt uselessly. I didn't like it. You seemed to go zombie on us for a minute there, Ramos. Says Gunner. Is everything okay down there? Jesse, what's the matter? Let's talk about it on the ship. No time to get into it now. I'm heading back up. You start back towards the stairway out of the gaping chamber. Roger that, Blackbird. We'll send our pod and get the coffee brewing out. And that is the end of the demo. So I really wanted to share this with you guys because Breezy has been putting a lot of work into this, and I have a lot of faith in her as an author. As you can see, her writing style is it's beautiful. She uses a lot of really beautiful language. I'm not a writer, so I don't know how to talk about it elegantly. But it really kind of gives you a clear picture of what's going on. She good with them words. That's right. And I'll keep y'all posted on her progress. Just some sound bugs. Yeah. What's the link there again? I would love to stream Animal Crossing, but I own neither Animal Crossing nor a Switch. There you go, franklytriggering.itch.io, the dive. So if you like her writing, please check her out. I would love to rip and tear, but I also do not own Doom Eternal. I could play Doom 2016. I do not own Stellaris. We have a little under 20 minutes until I need to go on my lunch break anyway. We're going to be playing Forgecraft after I get back from break though, so whatever we do in this 20 minutes should be short. Well, it's been my absolute pleasure, Breezy, and I hope that you've got some fans. You know, that's not a bad idea, Makod. I do have where are you? You'll be in this list somewhere. Heckin' Blasphemous to finish. And now that I've got a streaming job, it'd be nice to be able to finish this. Oh yeah. No worries there, Lord Eamon. I will be finishing Blasphemous, there is no doubt. There may be incentive for me to not pick up Forgecraft though, because I haven't really been in it. I haven't really been feeling it. Now, where am I and what was I doing? We are in Grievous Ascends. Grievance Ascends. Which I... Right, because at the end of the last episode we had just met, or just hatched Hair Lady. right? See you, Sirius. Yeah, so we just hatched,
Take it with you, and thus take its purity away from us. For it is already too late for these deformed bodies.
Yes, ma'ams. Can't even remember what we got from her, to be honest. Although I think I know where I'm going. We need to go back to, all the way to Mother of Mothers. Because I'm pretty sure that's where, the pilgrim guy had got to. After we helped him out. Whoops. Take me to Mother of Mothers. Library of Negated Woods, sure. Close enough. I can't remember what was stopping us from progressing in Library of Negated Woods, though. Alright, we have bodies to check now. I hear them reading, they mutter the forbidden writings. It is a constant murmuring whose echoes once inside my head refuse to leave. I know that my curiosity will kill me if my madness does not do it first. I will be taking a lunch break in 15, yeah, Breezy. We need... go that way. Ow. That's quite alright, Breezy. I'm all for lurkers. Lurker Support Union. How do I take sippies? That's right. Okay. How did that not hit? Walked right into that one. Oh, that was nice. I think that's the first time I've ever executed one of those. Oh, he isn't here. All right. That works. My only guesses here is close to Mercy Dreams, on the way to Mother of Mothers. Wait, Mercy Dreams is... This is all the way in the bottom of Mercy Dreams. That's not going to help. Take me to Albero then. Do we have any herbs? We do.
Merciful be, penitent one. With
Any more?
the miracle is...
Nope.
Find the next remnants.
I looked at that body. Oh heck, hang on. Do that. There we go. Now the rest of everything is visible. I forgot that I cropped it for Breezy's game. Oh, that was a bad one. There he is, hello.
Oh, penitent one, is it true that the roads are free?
It is.
Vision thou allowest me to behold. Blessed be our encounter.
You have acquired little toe made of limestone.
It is of little use for me to remain here. Go with the Father, O penitent one.
Okie doke. Ah. I pressed the wrong button to riposte. Do. Another body. On the sacred floor I will be safe. They will hear neither my footsteps nor my fear. Wanted the oranges from those trees to make no sound of falling. Oh my lord. The columns of the buttresses could be heard. Now I hear only the horrific screams of those punished by the miracle. I will wait patiently. Over here, druid dude. Druid. Ah, thank you so much for subscribing, Lord Eben. Hey Infern, how you doing? Just playing some Blasphemous between the little special thing we had today, playing the dive demo, and lunch break. Thank you, Lord Eben. I'll enjoy that fresh hot sub. Ah, now I could do with an actual sub though. That's not gonna happen though. Will be no going out for Subway, that's for sure. Goodbye, girls. Ow. Subway good. Outside is dark and full of terrors. Certainly is. We just got upgraded to a level 2 for the COVID-19. Yes, as of yesterday.
Those screams filled my soul with fright. Thou hast purged my fears and helped this poor pilgrim again.
I indeed have.
Chosen different roads, but still, absolution awaits at the end of the path for thee and this sinner. Wherever it is, near or far, in this life or on the other side of the dream. Merciful be the heart, penitent one.
Big toe made of limestone. I am not so worried about it becoming that bad in New Zealand, but I'm not gonna say it won't. Never say never. But yeah, I've been keeping my eye on what's going on over in the US of A, and it's quite frightening. There is very real fear that New York State and a bunch of others could get worse than Italy. Yeah, the spring breakers make me so angry. Like, seriously? That's your priority? Which state are you in, Grid? Oh, you're in New York as well? Scary shit, dude. Ah. Well, here's the thing that I'm gonna be watching out for is in 2 weeks. What's gonna happen with all the spring breakers, right? I am typo negative, so we'll see. Yeah, and that's going to be scary because all those spring breakers are from very many states all coming in, so into one space, all getting infected and then going back to their home state. Oh, thank you. Swinging. No. Just fight him. Just fight him. There we go. Okay. Come here, you. There he is. And he's crying. Why are you crying, dude?
Oh, my sins. Is a long journey filled with reflection not enough? What of the calluses on the feet, the cramps in the legs, the thirst, the forehead scorched by a sun that seemeth never to set? And what about the torturing of the mind when guilt pierceth our hearts time after time? What more punishment do ye want, O sins of mine? Thou art before the first pilgrim, the first of the barefoot rule, master of all errant sinners. This old limestone statue was erected where the pilgrimage of the master ended, where he took his last step. It was then that the miracle carried him in its arms so he could continue his path on the road of the old processions. Barefoot Master, what else dost thou want from me? Barefoot Master.
I was told. Oh, I know why. I know exactly why. We have to equip all the toes.
Barefoot master.
There we
what
go.
else dost thou want from me? The master showeth us the continuation of the path. New steps await us under the cold stone.
Toesery. True, Nightcast. Smash and grab. Nail uprooted from dirt. So this is a big deal. Incorrupt remains of the great pilgrim, founder of the order, and comfort of it as follows. His feet never stopped, always taking him forward in his mysterious wandering through Custodia. The bearer of this relic receives his determination and walks effortlessly through swamps and muddy marshlands. And the fingernail was the one that Martin Nicor ripped from himself when he was buried alive between spasms of pain after a cruel torture in front of his followers, who cried in silence. The fingernail, barely visible among the removed dirt, was picked up by the last follower, who was lamenting such a horrid event when all the others left, and whose name is unknown. He wrapped it using a piece of cloth torn from his own clothes, and that same night he went to the church whose congregation was the same one that had denounced Nicanor as a heretic, hid the fingernail among its inner bricks, and left. So I've got a dirt nail now.
Oh, sins of mine.
He's gone. He's gone. You have acquired knot of rosary rope. He came in here and he died. Alright, so I think I need to find a shrine. I have so many pieces of human. Look how many pieces of human I have. I think I might have more than one human now. Yes, I've got all 100 pieces of Exodia. Okay, now that I've found a shrine, that is time for my lunch break, folks. So, when we come back, we may or may not do Forgecraft. I'm still thinking about it. Because, yeah, I haven't been feeling the whole Forgecraft thing as much as everyone else is excited for it. But, we'll see. We'll see. So, see you all soon. In the meantime, we should send you off to, invade someone, though. For an hour. Let's
There is another layer up. It's called night.
let's raid Direwolf. Just let him know we're here. We are watching patiently. So I'll see you all soon.